Hello there everyone, welcome back into my music room and my channel, Bjorn's Records. I thought I'm going to show you in this rather quick video just a couple of records that I've found recently and listened to and that I have some sort of opinion about. And these are both new records and old records that I both found in flea markets and bought in regular stores and so on. The first one that I'm going to show you is a record that I bought on an auction, actually, on an online auction, and I thought, well, what is this? What is this? And it has a very unassuming sleeve. It says the Hotsy Totsy Gang, issued by the Old Masters. It's some sort of issue for collectors of old jazz. 16 rare jazz performances from the Roaring Twenties with Benny Goodman, the Dorsey Brothers, Miff Mole, Pee-wee Russell and others. I first thought it was some sort of compilation album of old jazz, but when I looked up the Hotsy Totsy Gang, there was this sort of ensemble led by Irving Mills, who recorded several 78s in the late 1920s, early 1930s. So, and many of these later stars like Tommy Dorsey and Benny Goodman and so on were part of that band. I guess there must have been some sort of leaflet in this sleeve that told you about a bit more about the actual recordings, because the sleeve doesn't say anything, but that has probably disappeared sometime during the years. But apart from the fact that I really like 1920s jazz, I have to show you the beautiful green vinyl here. Isn't that lovely? See-through green vinyl, yeah. It's a bit difficult to actually know when this is from. It could be from the 1950s. They haven't put any like stereo horrible echo on it, so I don't think it's 60s. It's a bit too thick to be the 70s. Well, I don't know actually. I don't know, but it can be from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s even, but it's very difficult to date, and Discogs wasn't that helpful either. But the recordings are from the 1920s. Okay, one of my favorite groups of the 1990s, the Beautiful South, issued another of their original albums that I bought on CD back then on vinyl, and we're talking about Meow from 1994. The first one that featured the singer Jackie Abbott, who's my favorite of the female singers in the Beautiful South. And it's recorded in 1993. It was issued in 1994, and just recently issued on vinyl. I don't know if you're familiar with the story about the sleeve with the 4 Alsatians in a lifeboat. The original sleeve was an image of a that played around with the HMV logo, you know, the dog gramophone trademark. Yeah, a bit of a parody of that one, but HMV didn't like that at all. No, that's our trademark. You can't have it like that. So they changed it, but it's a lovely, lovely painting, and it looks even better now in the vinyl format. And it is a really great album. I hope that they continue this reissue program, because the old originals from the 90s, apart from the 2 first ones, are quite hard to get hold of. Blue is the Color, I like that on vinyl. Quench, I like that on vinyl as well. And hopefully we'll see them soon, because we've seen 2 issues, at least this year, like I don't remember I showed it in a video a couple of months ago, the one that they issued in 2000. Yeah, anyway, and now this one. Let's continue. Oh yeah, one of my favorite jazz musicians of current day, or probably my favorite jazz musician of current day, is Hiromi Uehara, Japanese pianist. I've seen her concert videos on YouTube, and if you haven't seen them, look her out. She's amazing, both in her amazing playing. So skillful with the keys, but also she puts her full soul into her performances. So it's just a joy to watch her perform. She's not that readily available on vinyl, but I managed to get hold of a rather recent live album together with a harp player, Edmer Castaneda, and it's called Live in Montreal. It's a double album with both jazz that is very pleasant to the ear and lovely, and also some jazz numbers that are a bit more on the experimental side and the playful side. The latter part of the concert consists of the music piece in 4 parts. The elements with air, earth, water, and fire, and I think that's the highlight of the album and the concert. It's on Telarc or Concord Music. Yep. That concert is available on YouTube as well, if you want to have a look at it. Okay, over to some flea market finds that you rarely make these kinds of findings of flea markets anymore. This is a jazz album with the Ronnie Dunn Quartet from 1967. Oh, look at the lamination here. It's recorded in Sweden by this English, I think they are English jazz band or jazz quartet, both with great instrumental numbers and lots of vocals, especially with the lead Ronnie Dunn, the drummer, who has some sort of high falsetto vocal voice. It's recorded in October 1967 in Stockholm. Engineer Björn Norén, and the most famous member of this group today, I would say, was Dave Castle, the saxophone player, who probably because he stayed in Sweden and made lots of different recordings here with Swedish musicians. It's a quite rare album. I'd rarely seen it, and was happy to find it. It is a bit tuned there, and it's there are some ticks and pops, but it plays well. Over to another record that I was very happy to find. It's Spencer Davis Group, Autumn '66, and it's the Swedish pressing from, well, it's a mono issue, Swedish mono pressing, and they had this sleeve. Unlike some of the others, I don't know if the Swedish issue was the only one who had this particular sleeve or sleeve design. Spencer Davis Group, they were great, especially with the era with the singer Stevie Winwood. Really one of the great soul singers of British music. This is rather sought after by collectors, so it's not in perfect condition, but it also plays without any problems, and it's very listenable, and great album. With wonderful versions of Nobody Knows You When You're Down and Out, and Midnight Special, Mean Woman Blues, and so on. Spencer Davis Group was one of the best beat groups with a sort of bluesy, soul-y approach in my book. At the same time, I was very happy to find 2 albums with the Savoy Brown and Savoy Brown Blues Band for a very cheap price, actually. It was definitely a bargain because they are in great condition. Especially this one, the first one from 1967 with the unboxed Decca logo, with some lovely blues numbers. It's all sung by Bryce Porteous, he was a great singer. And we have got Albert King and John Lee Hooker and Willie Dixon numbers here. All in all, a great English blues album here. And at the same time, I found their album Sienna, Raw Sienna from 1970, also on Decca. And here the vocals are by Chris Yolden, who is, when we talk about great soul and blues singers in England, Chris Yolden together with Steve Winwood. Chris Yolden is another one of the really great ones, and I think this was the last one. I think he became the singer on the second Savoy Brown album, and this was his last one, and he later became a solo artist. The big problem for Savoy Brown was that they changed members all the time. So, and no band really feels that good by doing that. I do not think they lasted that many more records, but this is truly great, like jazz, blues, rock, with both great guitar playing and some really heavy arrangements with let's see, arranged by Kim Simmons and Chris Yolden. Great arrangements, all in all, and very well played, and you really want to shake to this record. Raw Sienna. I'm going to have a look at more of the Savoy Brown albums. I haven't heard them before, even though I've heard of them. So I was very lucky now to find two at once and in great shape for a very cheap price. So I'm going to have a look for their other albums as well, all the ones leading up to this one, because after reading a bit online, it's as if I don't know if they made any more albums, but they lost a bit of their style or their success after Chris Yolden left. Okay. Two more records. One is all new and the other one is fairly new. Somebody advised me, because I've said that I was a great fan of Ron Sexsmith, to have a look at Luke Seitel Sing, or Seitel Sing, I'm not really sure. I looked a bit online, listened a bit, and thought, well, why not? And then I bought this album. It's his latest one, Time is a Riddle. It's from last year, 2017. And he's a very, very talented singer-songwriter in the same soft style as Ron Sexsmith. My only objections is that it's sometimes a bit too lush, too soft. Maybe the arrangements, they make the softness in the songs become even softer, and maybe I wouldn't have done it that way. Still, great singer-songwriter, and I will probably have a closer look at more of his material after this. Luke Seitel Sings. Not sure if that's how you pronounce it. I've only seen his name written, never heard it being said. And finally, a Swedish record that there's been a bit of talk about. It's Rock på svenska by Strängen. And who's Strängen then? Yeah, well, that's Robert Dahlqvist, and he was a member of the very popular rock band The Helicopters for many years, and he's also made a couple of solo albums. This one was recorded, and there are 8 songs, short playing time, around 28-29 minutes all in all, and that's a bit short for a modern LP, if it's even an LP. But the sad thing is that Strängen, or Robert Dahlqvist, that was his real name, he passed away at his home before he had finished the recordings. So, but it's been finished with mainly the help of Chips Kisby, and it's a great album, and it's a really pity that he couldn't have been around a bit more to make some more music. If you can live with the fact that the playing time is quite short, it's well worth checking out, because you wish that there would be some more, because it's quite good. Yeah, Rock på svenska, Strängen. That's the last album for today, and I've been talking for 15 minutes. I wanted this to be a short video, but okay. Well, I hope that some of you found this somewhat interesting, and have a great day. Thanks for watching and all that, and bye for now.